Before we get ready for Week 13 in fantasy football, we have to recap the injuries from Week 12. Hey, I'm Bill Enright from FFChamps.com. He is Jared Smola, SportsInjuryPredictor.com. And Jared, as we do every week, we have to recap all the injuries, tell everyone how it's going to impact their fantasy football teams moving forward, and especially with the fantasy regular season coming to an end, it's going to be playoff time soon. You might want to start trimming the fat with a lot of these injured players.
Yeah, crunch time, only 4 or 5 weeks left in fantasy season, so no reason to hold on to guys who are going to miss multiple weeks at this point, in most cases at least.
Let's start off with 3 players that suffered concussions in Week 12. Oakland Raiders wide receiver Amari Cooper, Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Doug Martin, and New Orleans Saints tight end Colby Fleener.
Yeah, so first concussions for Amari Cooper and Doug Martin, third concussion of his career for Colby Fleener, so that one's probably a bigger concern. As we've been talking about all season, these tend to be 0 to 1 week absences for these guys. 46% of guys in our database with concussions miss 0 games, 35 miss 1 game, so that's the majority. So you can expect these guys to be back either for Week 13 or Week 14.
It's also being reported that Cooper has an ankle injury in addition to the concussion.
Yes, I just saw that. No word yet on the severity of ankle injury, whether it's a high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain, but either that injury or the concussion could keep him out for Week 13.
Damien Williams of the Miami Dolphins, he's expected to miss a couple weeks. He got carted off the field against the Patriots.
Yeah, dislocated shoulder is what the team's saying here. Our database, it's a pretty wide range for this injury, but 52% of guys miss somewhere between 2 and 5 games. So it's a wide range, but that's probably what we're dealing with here. So Williams could be back by Week 15. I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him again this season.
Fire up Kenyon Drake. Okay, Buffalo Bills wide receiver, it's still just not rolling off the tongue when I'm talking about Kelvin Benjamin, but is he going to miss this season? Which, with this now, we find out it's a torn meniscus?
Yeah, so the Bills just announced today that it's a torn meniscus for Benjamin. They're still calling him day-to-day, but according to our data, that's just not accurate. This injury costs guys, on average, 4.9 games, and 59% of guys with this injury miss at least 4 games. So I would bet on Benjamin missing at least a few here going forward, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's another guy that we don't see again this season.
All right, someone we haven't seen for the last couple of months finally made it back onto the field this past weekend, but he didn't stay out there very long. That is Carolina Panthers tight end Greg Olsen, who has been out with that foot injury, aggravated it in his first game back in Week 12.
Yeah, and these broken foots, we've seen it with multiple guys. They're just tough injuries to return from. Julian Edelman, Sammy Watkins, Julio Jones, they've all had issues with this injury. Good news for Olsen, it sounds like he didn't re-injure the foot. There's no additional damage. It just, got sore from running on it so much during the game. He probably wasn't quite in game shape yet. So there's a chance that he's, able to play Week 13. In fantasy, I'd be worried to use him until we see him make it through a full game.
Especially with almost, the playoffs on the line. Why would you want to trot out Olsen out there when we haven't seen him play a whole game yet?
Exactly. I would say that there are very few tight ends we can count on. So I know some teams might be forced to go to Olsen, but if you can, I would at least see if he can make it through this coming weekend's game, and then maybe consider using him in Week 14.
You've been surviving without him for this long. No rush to put him back into your lineup just yet. Finally, Jared, let's talk about Paxton Lynch from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, high ankle sprain for Paxton Lynch. Those are multi-week injuries, 3 to 4 weeks usually. So a reason for Denver not to throw him back out there after what was a brutal performance against the Raiders.
All right, he is Jared Smola, SportsInjuryPredictor.com. I am Bill Enright. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more fantasy advice.